This video is brought to you by Bitbox NES game cases. There is no better way to protect, store, and show off your NES game collection. Only available at StoneAgeGamer.com/Bitbox. Skip it up and that up. Man, I haven't done a disclaimer probably in almost like a year and a half, but I've also gained a lot of subscribers in that time, so I guess it's time to do a disclaimer. There are a lot of people recently accusing me of wanting to stir up fanboy wars with my videos, saying that I only talk about negative things from Microsoft or whoever just because I want to piss people off. No, unfortunately, most of the news that comes out, well, is negative. Unless you want me to talk about stupid things like Call of Duty DLC packs, which I have zero interest in, this is the news. This is what I want to discuss. This is what's out there. Don't shoot the messenger. Also, two people have accused me of being a Sony fanboy. Okay. Well, I guess in the past too, because I've had negative articles about Sony, I also was accused of being a Microsoft fanboy. I've been accused of being a Microsoft hater, which is what I'm being accused of now. I've been accused of being a Sony hater, and I've been accused of being a Nintendo fanboy and a Nintendo hater. So I guess I'm a fanboy of nothing because I love and hate everything. Look, if there's good news about a company and I think it's worthy to talk about, I'll talk about it. I don't care who the company is. I don't care if it's Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo. But if either of the big three are also screwing up or going through tough times, I'm going to talk about it too. Look, I tell it like it is, and on top of it, a lot of people also accuse me of making up shit. If you always look in the description of my articles, every single time there will be a link to a story backing up what I am saying. Obviously, the stories can change because things in this industry change on a minute-by-minute basis almost, but I always back up what I'm saying with an article to show you I'm not just talking out of my ass. And if that's not enough for you at that point, I don't know what to tell you. There's plenty of pro fanboy console channels out there that will even make up shit to say positive things about their favorite corporation, but that's never going to happen here. Sorry, folks. Speaking of, I guess you wouldn't call this negative. I would say this is neutral. Because Sony kind of went through the same thing a few months back where investors wanted them to sell off the PlayStation brand. Microsoft's kind of going through the same thing now. We know that Satya Nadella is the new CEO, and two big unnamed anonymous shareholders, I guess they want to keep the hate away from them, are kind of pressuring the new CEO of Microsoft to drop the Xbox brand. They want Microsoft to focus just on business software and operating systems. They want them to get out of virtually all consumer products. I mean, they're even talking Surface, they're talking Bing. They want it all gone. They want Microsoft to just focus on big business because that's where the money is. Microsoft has been losing money for the past 2 years, and investors are getting nervous and they want to see a big change over at the company. I mean, okay, this news is concerning. We just saw this, like I said earlier in this video, we saw investors over at Sony wanting to have Sony drop the PlayStation brand, and now we're seeing investors over at Microsoft want to see them drop the Xbox brand. And, you know, a new generation just started. It's very disheartening to hear this. But let's face facts, you know, Microsoft makes 75% of their revenue from Windows and Office. They make nothing, literally nothing, from the Xbox brand. They've lost money on the Xbox brand over time. And investors see that. And like, you know, IBM did this when they dropped the ThinkPad. The ThinkPad, their laptop line and computer line was highly regarded, got rave reviews, but they sold it to Lenovo because they were losing money. They were losing a crap load of money, and you know, they made more money by catering to selling mainframes and servers to businesses and selling services to, you know, upkeep those servers to businesses. And IBM saw that there was more money in that, so they sold their line to Lenovo. They had a little stake, and they kept a little stake in Lenovo's ThinkPad line because they sold them the ThinkPad line. And IBM dropped what they felt was like a dead weight on their business, and they haven't looked back since. So as much as we may love a brand, we got to keep in mind that, you know, investors and corporations and conglomerates, Their main goal is to make as big of a profit as possible. And if something is not performing up to their standards or not performing at all, they're going to look to get rid of it. Now, do I think that Microsoft is actually going to sell off the Xbox brand? No, especially when they just launched a new console and they have a very long-term plan with it, and they're probably going to want to see where it goes, and they have this huge future ahead for the Xbox One. For them to just drop it now wouldn't be a good idea, because who knows, 7 years from now or 5 years from now, things could be a lot different, and they could be making a crap ton of money off of it. I kind of don't see that, and I'm including Sony and Nintendo in that. I don't really see, consoles becoming even bigger, but who knows? I think they want to wait and see, and Microsoft has the money to burn. Let's face it. They may have lost money over the past little over a couple of years, but they have money to burn. They could experiment with the Xbox brand even more. So I wouldn't lose too much sleep. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and see that Google bought the Xbox brand, even though I don't know if that would be a horrible thing. That may actually be a good thing. Who knows? Anyway, alright folks, make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and as always, thank you for supporting Review Tech USA. Have a good one.